But after that, choose your future. That's the third and final step. Make the choice. You know, it can be your home. It can be a senior rental community. It can be, although nobody raised your hand, moving in with the family. Make a choice. We hope you would consider Capitol Lakes among those choices. We appreciate you very much being here. I wanted to introduce the rest of the team. You met Deb. Holly, if you could stand up. We have Holly, who some of you met on the way in, and Jenny there. We are going to be here in this room available to answer one-on-one questions. There's also going to be self-guided tours, and a team member would be happy after we've addressed all questions on a one-on-one basis to take a one-on-one tour. So Deb or Holly. So the question was, if we're a couple and one goes into skilled nursing, what happens to the fees? So in that scenario, immediately your monthly fee, if you went to permanent skilled nursing care, would drop by $600. So that second person fee. You would pay the skilled nursing rate that's there in skilled nursing. So that and the rate on your independent living accommodation, because you're living in two places. Some people at that point, say they're living in a 2,000 square foot apartment, want to downsize, reduce their monthly expense, and it's only one person. So you might move from the 2,000 square foot apartment to a 750 square foot independent living apartment and reduce your expense. You know, it's a good question. As again, understanding your options, there's a phrase that's valued about, if you've seen one CCRC, you've seen one CCRC. And I guess that's applicable to BLTs too, right? Like, they come in all shapes and sizes. So understanding what's important to you, there are communities where you wouldn't, in that scenario, pay more. I don't think you'll find one right in Madison, but there's communities where you go to skilled nursing and you wouldn't pay more, and if that's important to you as you make this choice, that's good to know. Our program's really designed to get people back on their feet. You pay less in skilled nursing, but we've found over our years of experience it meets many folks' needs and the 5,000 people that live with us today. We can take some questions here. One up front. Sure. So part of the move, what I would call the move-in process, and for many of you, this is indeed a process, starting with what am I going to do with all my stuff? But part of it is looking at working with the team members one-on-one and looking at finances. What is the best accommodation for your needs? You know, being a nonprofit and stewards of funds, there is financial qualification for move-in, just like if you were purchasing anything. So that's looking at those resources, and that is the idea there is that if we financially qualify for move-in, and the question was, I didn't repeat it for everyone, how does that work, the assistance? So you would move in, and if you say to Capitol Lakes, here's my resources, and we plan on spending X amount, part of the foundation assistance, being good stewards, is looking at these situations and saying, did somebody either willfully mislead at the beginning or intentionally spend down their assets, so vastly exceeding. Make allowances for variations, but it's just to protect against intentionally spending down resources. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Mm. Absolutely. Right. And that's the perfect scenario that we've had people that move in that say, I'm planning on giving $100,000 of my assets to my children. That's my plan. And that's no problem at all upon that approval step. It's the scenario where, yeah. Yes. So the question, and we can meet one-on-one for some more details, but it's, what about just variation in spending? It's not hard and fast, like you're never allowed to spend beyond or no car. These are pretty clear cut. We are, again, in the nonprofit business, the people business. We act with integrity. I would say the vast majority of people to ever move into a PRS community move with integrity. We have not seen intentional abuse of the foundation system. So there was a question here about electricity and natural gas in the Heights building, which are independently measured. And Deb, do you want to come to the front and answer that? Okay, so it's been changed. Need to update the slide. Thank you, Deb. All right, we'll take some more questions. As I said, plenty of time for one-on-one. It's hard to answer with broad brush, so many specific questions, but we'll keep them broad. So the question is about transfer. The transfer policy is something to talk about one-on-one with the team and go through the specifics. It'll be hard to mention. With your residents transfer, it's something that happens with pretty good frequency. So the team can walk you through that. Deb or Holly would be happy to. So the question is skilled nursing and assisted living, where are they located? They're in contiguous buildings to campus. If you were walking through, you would not be able to even tell that you've entered them. They're actually designated as separate buildings, but there's... Question is kilometers, and so my metric system will fail me. They're on the other side. So skilled nursing, and Deb, is that part of the self-guided tour today at all? I think the best way, again, is to walk. It's, to me, not a far distance, but it's certainly something to consider, and the team would be happy to walk you through one-on-one. Any other big questions that you want to cover for the group? Yes? That's a good question. I want family to visit. So we have a number of guest suites. I'm actually staying in one myself, and I consider myself a part resident of the community over the past couple days, enjoying the fabulous food at Seasons. We have guest rooms. It's a great benefit to have family come. One of the funny jokes about the guest stay is you're allowed to have a guest stay a long time without administration approval. We do ask if somebody's going to stay longer than 14 days to give us a heads up. But residents say to their kids, "Oh, you can stay in my apartment, but the administration will only let you stay for 2 days." You don't want the kids to stay a long time. But we have family that come and visit in guest rooms. We have family that visit their parents and stay right there in the apartment, and those guest rooms are available. Deb, what's the current? Yeah. Yes, sir? So that's a good question. And again, as you're looking at CCRCs, these are great questions to ask. Is there any obligation to keep paying your monthly fee if you move out voluntarily? And there's no. Your monthly fee obligation ceases. There are communities, again, I don't think right here in Madison, but if you were looking regionally, there's communities where you own title. And I made that point of saying what you're purchasing is a healthcare agreement. In the communities where you own title, if that's important to you, very often you are required to pay the monthly fee after you move in. So as you're exploring communities, these are great questions to ask. Yeah, no obligation like that. So anyway, again, we're happy to take the one-on-one questions. I think at this point, breaking for the tour, again, I think it's self-guided, but the team would be happy to lead. And we thank you so much for taking the time to visit us today, to consider us, and learn. I think we all can say we now know the difference between a BLT and a CCRC. So I hope you enjoyed yourself and learned something. Thank you so much.